Some serious overreactions going on from the Vikings fans. Let's talk about them. Welcome back to Onebar and Lupagus show. I'm Onebar with Lupagus, and as always, Vikings fans, panties in a bunch. There's some serious overreactions going on.
Yeah, nothing like a week one loss at home to a team like the Tampa Bay Bucks to get everybody overreacting. And we're going to talk about every single one of those. We saw these on Twitter. We saw some of these on our live post-game show. But the fans have spoken, and they are already starting to overreact. Before we do, subscribe to the channel. Let's get to 9,700 subscribers. We got a lot over the weekend.
Yeah, we're getting closer. Let's get to 10K. And overreactions, hey, looking however many months down the road, maybe these come true. But it's 1 week in. So, like the passion, but these are overreactions, serious overreactions.
Yeah, let's start with probably the most popular one. It's time to tank for Caleb Williams.
1 game in, and we are going to say, screw it. We want the first overall pick, and we need Caleb Williams, who I will, spoiler alert, I say Trent McBride. I say Charles Nagy. I keep saying Caleb Murphy for Caleb Williams, so get used to it.
That makes sense. Caleb Murphy's a stud.
Yeah, I mean, come on, first overall pick. We're tanking for Williams after week 1.
Yeah, let's just relax. We had 3 turnovers, really bad turnovers that really swung this game. Vikings kind of beat themselves in this one. There wasn't like any real, the offense maybe had some kinks in it. Other than that, it wasn't like one thing like, oh my God, we're horrible. The O-line is always going to be an issue with the Vikings. But, overall, this team looked pretty much like we expected to, other than some minor hiccups on offense.
Well, and here's why tanking for Williams isn't even in the conversation. We're not, even if we have a horrible season, we will not be worse than the Cardinals. It's not humanly possible. So we're not tanking for Williams.
Yeah, and it's still so early. We don't know what other teams are going to be like. There's going to be some really, really bad teams that emerge. Someone's going to come up from the rubble as just being the worst team. Is it the Cardinals? Maybe. But the Vikings just never seem to be that team. We're never that team. We're always like just end up outside the top quarterback range. That's who we are.
I remember 2020 when we started out 1-5, and that's when Trevor Lawrence came out.
Yep.
Like there was some serious Trevor Lawrence talk, and sure enough, the Vikings go on a little bit of a run, end 7-9. Over.
It's what we do. And we even traded Yannick Ngakoue. I think Spillman was ready for the tank. I still remember that image that was on Twitter of Lawrence in Vikings purple. Was quite popular. It did look good. So that's
good. Not saying we won't get Williams by giving up the next 50 draft picks, but we're not tanking for him. So let's move on.
Yeah, it's week 1. We're not tanking yet. How about this one? No way Justin Jefferson's going to sign his contract extension now after losing at home to the Bucks.
Can we spend a total of 10 seconds on this? This is blasphemy. Money talks. That's all that matters. And we're going to offer him the highest paid contract for a wide receiver, and he's not going to say no.
No, and he's used heavily. He had 130 yards receiving in the first half. He had a huge game yesterday. He is the heart and soul of this offense, of this team. He's going to get his money. He's going to stick around. This has nothing to do with his contract.
And maybe I'm just not thinking of a very obvious one. When's the last time a guy coming off his rookie contract who was going to be offered the highest paid at his position to say, you know what, I don't like where this team's at. I'm going to look elsewhere. Thank you for that. But you know what, I'm going to move on. Has that ever happened?
I don't know. It's probably a quarterback, if anything, and I don't think it's happened.
Sure, a trade can happen, whatever. This is apples to Peters.
Yes, apples to Peters. Put your Peter in the applesauce. How about this one? Vikings are going to be 0-3 for sure, guaranteed. Look at this upcoming schedule. No way we're going to win any of these games coming up.
I'll let you start on this one.
Well, look what happened yesterday. Dallas destroyed the New York Giants. No one saw that coming. Cincinnati got spanked by the Browns. It's a young season. Teams are still figuring everything out. We can't just assume the Vikings are going to go into Philadelphia and get their asses kicked. Will it happen? Maybe. Probably. It could. Chargers coming the week after that to home. Yeah, great offense, great weapons there. They lost a shootout against Miami. They're always a team that kind of seems to step on their dick. So you can't just assume the Vikings are going to go to 0-3. Is it a tough schedule? Yes. Does it mean we're going to lose every game because we lost at home to the Bucks? No, it doesn't.
No, this isn't really that big of an overreaction. I guess the end result is an overreaction, but you said it. You said it. There's nothing else to say.
Yeah.
Speaking of Dallas, parents used to always watch that. I believe it was on Sundays. Horrible show. J.R. Ewing, what bad show.
I would never did get into
Maybe it's because I was
Dallas.
so young. Maybe I need to watch it again.
I just watched Debbie Does Dallas.
Yeah, and you know what? I can't think of this. Close your eyes. Close your eyes.
Oh,
We go into Philadelphia on Thursday. Nobody's picking us to win. We have no right to win. They're fantastic. And we kick the living shit out of them.
yeah. And you know what? It's a new season. It could happen. We don't know what this team is yet. How are they going to respond from losing at home, turning the ball over 3 times to the Bucks? They could be fired up. They could be pissed off. Maybe the short week's the best damn thing that happened to this team.
It's
Maybe
the
that's
best
an
thing that happened to
overreaction.
Vikings fans. I mean, we need to get this taste out of our mouths. What do we got next?
You know what? We needed Delvin Cook. Delvin Cook would have changed his whole running game.
Yeah. I don't know what to say to those ones. I mean, we ran the ball, 16 times, 17
total
times?
if you count Cousin Scamper.
If Dalvin Cook could assure that we didn't have those 3 turnovers, which he couldn't, then you know what? I would say fine. I'll give you that. It wasn't happening. Dalvin Cook had nothing to do with this. Madison played well. There was no room to run. This one doesn't make sense either.
Yeah, I don't care if you changed it back. There was just nothing happening there with the run game. And Madison fought and scraped for every single yard. That touchdown reception he had where he looked like he was down on about the 6-yard line, fought and wrestled his way into the end zone. That was beautiful. So, yeah, Delvin Cook being back there, they wouldn't have changed anything. No way.
He would have. Actually probably would have had a worse stat line because he would have been waiting for that hole to happen, been just sitting back there like a bunny, and then just gets completely tackled for the loss.
Completely swallowed up by Vita Vea and his giant midsection. All right, let's do the very last one. It's kind of similar to the Caleb Williams one, but we lost at home to the Bucks. Season's over.
Yeah, a lot of I knew this is what we were going to get this year. I knew last year was a fluke. I knew this, I knew that, blah, blah, blah. After one game, all of a sudden everybody knows everything, and this season is complete dog shit.
Mm-hmm. And again, the only thing I can say to that is a long season. Yes, these next couple of games coming up are tough, but even if you start out worst case 0-3, you can go on runs at the middle of the season. Look at the Lions last year; they were like 1-6, and they came a pube away from making the playoffs. Just because you lose some games early in the season, your season's not over. It's a long, long road between now and January. A lot of things can change. Teams can find their groove. Teams we thought were going to be good could turn out to be horse shit. So a lot of football left to be played. Let's just take a deep breath, relax. Did losing at home to the Bucks suck and not the way you want to start your season? Absolutely. It's not the end, though.
Well, and let's remember, we're in the NFC North. I know everybody is just like, holy shit, the Packers, they got no blah, blah, blah. They beat the Bears, who will probably be tanking for Williams. The Lions, they beat a Chiefs team that looked completely like dog crap. So we're in a division where it's a good division to be in. The season's not over.
It's not over. Not by a long shot. So those are our overreactions. Overreaction Monday. Let us know if you have any others in the comments below. And don't forget this little tidbit. And don't overreact to it either. Nebraska's state soft drink is Kool-Aid.
Oh,